Everyone learns differently, but Mackenzie Wilson heads to COCC to show us one student who is truly taking in lectures unlike any others.
If I asked you to pick out the deaf student in this class, you couldn't. And that's just the way Tiffany Hill likes it. She doesn't want to be different than her classmates. And she's really not, except for the way she learns. Tiffany's parents found out she was deaf when she was about 4 months old. She can hear some things, but just not enough to really rely on her ears during a conversation. So she depends on interpreters to get her through her classes.
It's Claude, the best job in the world.
And Tiffany isn't the only one who has to study up for her classes.
I do a couple of hours of prep for this class, reading, looking at videos, and also for other classes too, just to stay current with what the teacher is going to be talking about.
This chemistry lab is keeping Tiffany on her toes. But just like any other college student, sometimes she just wishes she was somewhere else.
Sometimes I get sleepy, like when they just go on and on, I'm like, oh God. I wish they'd find a different way, I'm just falling asleep. But sometimes, I hear some things, but not enough to catch what they're saying. So I'm just thinking, then I'll wake up and then I'm really good. But sometimes I do just kind of get lulled to sleep.
Tiffany wants to work in criminal justice.
I was just thinking, out in the real world, what would I do? I'm deaf in a hearing world, but I started to think about it, and I think, there's a few things I could do to help people, and I really want to help people in general.
But right now, she's the one getting a helping hand.
My world's pretty small. And so some people who know sign language, and I'm not used to that, like a mechanic, or you go to the store, I'm always surprised to find people that learn sign language, and it's like small deaf population, but it seems like people do have an awareness.
And it's not just the lecture she's getting from her interpreters.
I don't get to be a judge on if it's valuable information. An airplane can go over, or there's a noise out in the hall and everybody looks. It didn't have anything to do with what went on, except everybody responded to it.
Liska also keeps Tiffany in the loop with her peers.
Is there a word for selfie?
For what?
Selfie.
Yeah.
COCC doesn't have American Sign Language classes. But luckily for Tiffany, it does provide great people like Liska, who admits she doesn't mind getting paid to go back to college.
After you've been doing it for a while, it's just like, that's fascinating, because you do know how to process, but also you can learn for yourself. So it's always amazing. Yeah, there's some great classes here.